and you can't...
I'm going to struggle to pay this.
...or won't pay it back.
It doesn't matter what you want, sir. Unfortunately, that's the law.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
Evil! You are too down to hell!
Well, I'll smash the window then. It's false imprisonment.
Dealing with desperate debtors.
Hello?
In dramatic situations.
You want to stand here like a big man? Leave it. Talk to me. Push me about.
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
You can't go anywhere else apart from back in hospital, but that could set him back.
And their possessions.
The desk should go in. Everything.
You're joking. Okay.
Because whatever happens...
High Court enforcement!
If you can't pay, they'll take it away.
Recent figures reveal that personal debt has reached a record high. 1 in 6 adults in the UK now has what can be classified as a problem debt, and one of the most common is rent arrears.
Let's roll.
Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are High Court enforcement agents who work across the north of England.
Oh, it's a beautiful day indeed.
It's 7:30 a.m. They're in Liverpool on their way to evict a family who are behind with their rent.
If people don't pay the rent, then they've got to be evicted.
The landlord claims he hasn't received anything from them for months. But there's a complication.
From what we can read in the notes, one of the occupants is classed as vulnerable.
It's a child, I believe.
Is it a child?
I mean, the case notes say it's a vulnerable child, but that's so wide open, isn't it?
It can be wide open, yeah. Vulnerable is a wide umbrella.
47, 49... There we go.
The landlord's son is there to meet them.
We believe there's a vulnerable child.
Yes.
Well, what do you know the more history about that?
Just he's on a ventilator.
Right.
So he has a pipe. He's got a mobile machine. He's got oxygen.
Yeah.
Although he said he can move, he can travel. He's okay to go.
Right.
But they're playing the game. He can't move. He's too disabled to. And that's why they're not getting out of the house.
We'll give it a knock and see if they're open first. If not,
take the palm off the side, please.
Right. Okay. What's the names?
Powell, Mark.
Although Stuart and Victor know there is a seriously ill child inside the house, the writ gives them no choice but to evict the family immediately.
Oh, here we go. Can you come to the door, please?
The agents are met by a member of an overnight care team.
There's a baby on a ventilator here. I need to put that child in a place of safety. Can you please give me an hour?
We can do that. That's
Who
not a
are you,
problem.
by the way?
We're High Court enforcement agents. We're here now to take over the property.
Right,
okay,
okay,
we've got a right of
that.
possession for the property.
You're not going to throw them in the street?
Yeah, that's we don't throw anyone out on the street. But what we're here to do today is take possession of the property. So we'll be changing locks and they will be evicted today.
But you're going to give us an hour or so?
Of course we will. Yeah, of course.
Do you want me to come in and talk, Mr. Pell?
Please don't enter this.
No.
No, don't.
The reason why we've stepped out is simply because it is a bit of a shock. So they want to get things arranged and get things sorted, which I understand.
I mean, you know, we're all human at the end of the day. We've all got families. We've got our job to do today, but this is a special case.
A few minutes later, the care worker's shift ends and she leaves the house.
He's on a ventilator, on life support machine.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, but...
But what?
It's a delicate situation. Stuart wants to explain the process carefully to the family.
We'll try and give you as much time as possible, because I know it's not the best situation at all. Right. So the best thing for you to do now is pack like an overnight bag, something like that. You can come back and get your stuff, simply just change the locks. Okay, so it's a horrible situation. I understand that.
He knows we've got an ill baby.
Yeah.
He knows the situation. He knows we're waiting on the house.
Yeah.
He was just pissed off because we couldn't get out by the time he wanted us to. There's nothing I can do. What if we decide that we can't go?
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
You will be leaving today.
Okay.
It was a very difficult situation for me to deal with. You've got to start thinking from the tenant's point of view and not just from the landlord's point of view, that there is a child here that is dependent, his life is dependent on what you do and what your actions are.
An hour after they first arrived, the agents go back to the house.
Oh yeah, you're all right. Are we able to come in?
Do you have to? We're sorting stuff out.
We would have to come in. Like I said, we're not going to be intruding, we're simply just going to come in and have a chat, that's all.
Once inside, the agents have legal possession of the house, but they're in for a shock.
Do you want to come in, man?
Oh yeah, you're all right, just pass us all. So
yeah, we're just part of the Alder Hay team that manage Riley's care.
Yeah. Sorry mate, keep out your way, it's all right.
Riley is nearly 2 and needs round-the-clock medical care. He can't breathe on his own and is on constant life support. He lives here with his father Mark, mother Claire and big brother Callum.
He's a beautiful boy, isn't he?
Yeah, lucky to have him. We found out on a 20-week scan that he had a heart problem because his heart was back to front and it's in the centre of his chest.
Oh, right.
Because he's got one small lung, so obviously it hasn't pushed it to where it should have been. Because his heart, when they're 8 weeks old in the womb, your heart's meant to do a 360 degrees turn.
Right.
And this has only done half. And when he was born, they didn't think he was going to live. He has to have a ventilator to help him breathe.
What does the doctor say long term in that?
Hopefully he'll be off it by the time between the age of now and 10, he can go up to the age of 10.
I was quite shocked when we walked in and it was a little boy on a life support machine. It's about 2 years old. It was a big shock and emotional, very emotional to be honest with you. In a situation like that, you do think of your own family and you also realise how blessed we are.
Despite Riley's condition, legally the agents must carry out the eviction today.
It's a writ of possession for this property for today. Because they need this documentation to take it down to the Housing Association because they will need to go in some kind of emergency accommodation.
But rehousing a little boy like Riley isn't going to be easy.
He needs plug sockets to run his life support equipment off. That needs testing and safety testing. All that takes about 2 or 3 weeks to set up.
Yeah, well,
you're not going to be able to get that in emergency accommodation. So there's absolutely no way to appeal this or
no.
Not from a high court level.
Riley spent the first 16 months of his life in hospital and only came home 6 months ago. Mark stopped work to look after him and fell behind with the rent.
You have to change all his tapes, change his tubing, medications every so many hours. That is our job.
It's our job.
He's our life.
You can't have a job, basically. He is our job.
You can't leave him because if that pipe comes off, it's life-threatening.
These circumstances are unlike any Stuart has ever faced.
We're here to take the property back, but our main concern is the moment. Forget about the house. Main priority is getting the little lad sorted. We're all human at the end of the day.
What's all the time? We've got a time limit to now.
Pack a bag. You've got 7 clear days from today to come back for the rest of your belongings.
The family are now homeless. Riley needs life-saving equipment and round-the-clock care. But the family don't know where they'll be sleeping tonight. Now, the family have to make a crucial decision. As there is little hope of finding emergency accommodation suitable for Riley's life-saving equipment, they have no choice but to admit him back into Alder Hay Hospital.
We have to wait for an ambulance to take him into hospital because we can't go anywhere else with him.
He can't go anywhere else apart from back in hospital, but that could set him back.
He can stay at home. He doesn't have to go into hospital, but now he has to go into hospital, which is wrong.
But moving Riley into hospital means that his brother Callum has to stay somewhere else.
And it split the family up because we've got one child living somewhere else and we've got another child put back in hospital.
And we've got nowhere to go.
It's the landlord. The landlord has pushed it through to the High Court and what we've turned up to this address, you see. So it's only when you actually get in behind that door, speak to the parents and actually see it for yourself, you might think, oh.
The family knew they would have to move. They were waiting for the council to finish adapting a house suitable for Riley's needs. The house will be ready in 2 days' time, but their landlord wanted them out today.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
See how close he knew that we were.
Yeah.
And he still had to put us through this.
Yep.
The agents have no control over when the High Court writs are issued. But just 48 hours could have prevented Riley from having to go back to the hospital and the family being separated.
The landlord knew this. He knew we were waiting on the property.
It's just not fair.
That someone can actually do that to you, knowing the circumstances that we are going through. I think it's disgusting. I don't know how they're going to sleep at night.
You can't meet a little lad like that and not be affected in any way. He hasn't stopped smiling since we've walked in. He's been bouncing, dancing along to his TV.
It's now 2 o'clock and Riley's ambulance arrives. However, his care team have to make sure they take all of his medication and life-saving equipment, as the locks will be changed as soon as they leave.
2 vents. Yeah. 2 suction machines. Yeah. 1 SAT monitor. Yeah. 1 handheld SAT monitor.
In the bag.
Okay. Meds.
All his meds are in the bag, in the thing. What happens now then?
You just need to arrange with us, and we can arrange with the landlord when you need to come back and collect the rest of your things. All your stuff will be safe and secure, okay?
I'm sorry, baby. Good job you don't know.
6 hours after they first arrived, the eviction is complete. For Vic and Stuart, it has been the most difficult they have ever carried out.
You drive down each street and you don't really see anyone in their houses or anything like that. You don't really know people's stories or people's lives, but they're on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and their lives are completely turned upside down.
The good news is that he will eventually become off that life support. It's just at this age, because he's so young, he needs the machine to basically force his lungs to make it stronger, really. So 5 years from now, he might be running around with his brother and his mates outside the property, and that's great. You know, that is really good news. And so hopefully one day that family will have a normal life again.
The latest research shows that despite the economic recovery, 15 million families in the UK are financially living on the edge.
Another day and another potentially stressful job for Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor. This morning, they're in Birmingham to recover a £3,350 debt owed to a landlord for unpaid rent.
Oh, early start.
Early start, Vic. Very early start.
Early bird catches the worm and all that.
Well, it depends what the worm is, isn't it?
The writ instructs Stuart and Vic to collect payment today or remove assets to cover the debt.
It's not a bad area, though. So hopefully when we get there, hopefully there might be a car on the drive, because most of these houses have got big long drives.
But the person named on the writ is not the tenant. It's her father. He agreed to be the guarantor if his daughter fell behind with the rent. Now he's liable for the debt.
Oh, burger bar.
Kath's Kitchen.
Kath's Kitchen.
And a plate number, which I will do an HPI on right away.
There's a car and a mobile kitchen in the driveway. These are assets they could seize if the tenant's father can't or won't pay.
Kath's Kitchen. No, I'll tell you what, man. I can go for a full breakfast this morning. Maurice.
Just going to do an HPI, all right? It's Vic, mate, you're right.
Vic checks the car isn't on finance, while Stuart approaches the house.
Hello there, sir. We're after Mr. Palmer.
Yeah.
Is that yourself? Name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent from Direct Collection Bailiffs. It's regarding an outstanding High Court writ.
Going through, love. We've been to court.
Yeah. Like I said, so what's happening with this? You said it's going through court at the moment.
Yeah, I've been there to court. How long ago was it? Oh, you went up there last week, love, and
last week.
Yeah.
I've been up there before. I've been up to the court to say that how much I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
or my circumstances.
The fact of the matter is, because it's been transferred to the High Court, we are now here to take control. We're here to take control of goods unless payment is made.
What can you take?
The total amount outstanding is £3,349.75. It is.
It's 2,200.
Yeah, because it's been transferred to the High Court. There's no fees involved.
Why haven't we been informed?
You would have been informed.
We haven't been informed.
Yeah, you would have been informed.
How?
The debt started off as a county court judgment, which can be paid in instalments. But the landlord wanted his money back fast and escalated the case to the High Court.
My daughter wanted to rent a house, but I signed as guarantor for her. She didn't
keep up with the repayments, and so they come to
she
you.
missed a month's repayment, but she got in touch with him. She told him all this and said, oh, look, I haven't got the money. That she changed the circumstances. Her husband split, and he took us to court. Then, when he got to court, he said that she'd missed 3 months.
Yeah.
No, I know my daughter. My daughter wouldn't miss 3 months' time, knowing I'm the guarantor and would have to pay it. You know, so we went to court. They turned around and found in his favour. Now, I've done everything by the book. I've told them that I can't afford to pay.
The High Court would have sent warning to Mr. Palmer that he needs to pay immediately. But the agent's visit has come as a shock.
The fact of the matter is that if payment isn't made, we will have to take control of goods. So
you'll have to go back to the court.
We're not going back to court. We're here now to execute a High Court writ. So you need to make a payment. Okay, that's the letter that's been sent out on the 12th of the 5th.
Tell you what, he's a right bastard, and I don't swear he's a right bastard.
I can give you half an hour to see what you can do with regards to funds.
Any money.
We'll have to take control of goods then, including the assets on the driveway at the moment.
That's my son's. That's my wife's.
We need to get proof of that. We need to get proof of that.
Well, my son's in Las Vegas at the moment.
Right, okay, well what will happen is the vehicles will get removed today. Okay, we need to see some documentation for that. We need to see some proof of that.
You can establish in the first 10 minutes what's important to them and what's not. And you've got to play on that. Unfortunately, you've got to find out what is valuable to them, what they don't want to lose. But everybody's got pressure points. If someone's got a car and he doesn't want to lose his car and it's free of finance, you've got two options. You're either going to pay or we're going to take it away.
It becomes clear the defendants can't pay.
Yeah, I need this ASAP, mate.
Seizing the vehicles could be the agent's next option. Vic hears back from the finance check.
Right, cheers, thank you. It came back free of finance. So he allowed by law to remove it, unless they can produce paperwork showing that it's in, well, the lady claims it's in her name. So if she's got a sales invoice or anything like that in her name, we won't remove it.
You've got a catering trailer there that's worth, in my opinion, maybe £5,000 if it's got the equipment in it. And you've got a Toyota RAV4 there, which 03 plate you'd probably get about 1,500 quid for, maybe 1,800 quid at the most.
Mr. Palmer finds the vehicle's paperwork. It shows his wife is the registered keeper, but it's not proof of ownership.
Have you got a sales invoice for this vehicle?
Sorry?
Have you got a sales invoice?
Oh, God. The sales invoice, we bought it second hand, as you can see, it's not a new car. There isn't any need at all for this. You know, we're decent people, we're not tramps. It's rich man versus poor man all over again, and it's just then on. We haven't done anything wrong.
He said he's done everything by the book, which is fine, but you need to remember that the client's done everything by the book as well.
Looks like a decent gentleman, pensioner, trying to help his daughter out, and then he got stung with a bull.
I suggest if you speak with your daughter, see if she's got any funds, considering that she's the one that's run up the debt in the first place.
I've been feeding her because she hasn't got any money to buy food even.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not going to stop with what we're here to do today. It's not. There's nothing to do with that, sir. Nothing to do with that at all.
They've got a job. They've got a job. Job's worth.
It can be heartbreaking, but you'd do anything for your family. I know I would. I would sign on behalf of somebody in my family, regardless of the situation, because it's your family at the end of the day. But people need to remember that you are signing if they don't pay. If they don't pay, you're liable, and you've signed a contract to say that, yes, I will be liable if you do not pay or you default on any of your payments. So I don't understand why it's a shock to people when we turn up at the door and they say, oh, we only sign guarantor. But that's what a guarantor is. But the only way it's going to get resolved is by making a payment. Somebody needs to make a payment. Somebody.
Payment of what? Somebody. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go and rob a fucking bank, are you?
That's not me to tell you what to do, sir. You know what I mean?
All right, you've got your job to do.
Okay, so what I'll do is...
At the end of the day...
Okay, I understand that, sir.
You can't take blood from a stone.
After 20 minutes at the house, their daughter Sam, who ran up the debt, and her friend Andy arrive.
How can people seriously do? How can you seriously come round and do something like this?
Morning. Dad, I've tried, they're just not interested.
You came to?
Pardon?
Are you sheriffs?
Yeah, High Court.
You go, High Court. Why has it gone to the High Court when you're still at the negotiations?
It's not. It's a CCJ that's been honoured.
The claimant has transferred it to the High
So what
Court.
the claimant is... It's a CCJ that's been awarded against the defendant. So what the claimant has done is transferred it to the High Court.
Tell you what he's
in the state of a week?
Yeah.
From going from making an offer...
We're in the making an offer stage.
How much is it?
The total amount outstanding is...
It was 2,200, Andy, and now it's all of a sudden it's gone up to 3,200.
How can you do that?
It's on no
With no
website.
notification.
Stuart and Vic are at gridlock with the whole family. With tensions rising, will they get the £3,000 they came for? His daughter and her friend arrive to back him up.
How can people seriously do? How can you...
Now a simple debt recovery has turned into a standoff.
You haven't notified these people that this is going to happen.
A letter has been sent out. A letter has been sent out.
When was the letter sent out?
12th of the 5th. Notice of enforcement was sent to this address.
So hang on. So he's kind of gone... He's jumped the gun.
But you can do.
He's jumped the gun.
He's took
a legal stance and he's jumped the gun.
I wouldn't say jump the gun. The second it's awarded against you...
He's used the law to his... He's used the law to his advantage.
Isn't that what the law's there for?
The law's an asset.
If the payment of £3,349 isn't made in 20 minutes, we will be taking control of goods.
Hang on a minute. Can I have a look at the...
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Normally there's a good cop and a bad cop. Because Stuart is taking the lead of the case, he will be portrayed as the bad cop. I normally try and calm the debtor down because he won't have a beef with both of us. He will normally focus on one of us and take his frustration out on that agent. That will give me the opportunity to try and calm him down. Normally take him by the arm and just say, let's step aside, let's work this out. It's £3,200 and whatever pennies. If we come to an agreement today, you make some kind of... There has to be a payment today. There's no doubt about that. To stop any action from removing vehicles.
It's a stalemate. But then the daughter's friend makes a surprising offer.
You're in a position to cut a deal.
What kind of deal?
Amount.
What kind of deal?
Well, they agreed to paying that in court.
Right.
I'll give you that right now.
No. There needs to be the full amount. If not, it's removal of goods.
Right, okay, I'll pay you now.
Okay, how can you make the payments?
Debit card. Pay me all that now. Pay me all that now.
The family friend has agreed to pay off the debt.
This man has took full advantage of this old couple. Sam rented a house off this guy. He was very naughty with the way he's kippered her up regards payments, regards damage to the house. She actually done the house out. He's gone after and gone for this debt. But to try and enforce it onto her mum and dad, who are retired people, not good enough.
I'll take the notice off the vehicle, eh?
I'm just a friend of the family, just trying to keep everybody happy here.
So if that's go through, so should we have the signal?
I've taken the notice off the vehicle. According to us, this is the end.
There you go.
These aren't people who are trying to run and hide. These are people who are trying to deal with things. These are genuine people. These aren't duckers and divers with the dealers. I would have helped them out. They're too proud. That's the problem. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I appreciate your level head, sir.
Got to be level-headed.
All the best anyway, though, sir.
All the best to yourself.
I think he is a genuine guy. He's trying to help the family out, which is fair play to him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think we got a good result.
The case is resolved and the family's cars are safe, thanks to their daughter's friend.
New research shows Britain is in the grip of a debt crisis, with families in the UK owing nearly £1.5 trillion. And it's the middle classes who are the most likely to be in heavy debt.
High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Del Anglin are in Kent with a writ to collect just over £2,000 owed by a business selling novelty globes, Globy Limited. But first, they must find the right address for its director.
So what we've got here is an individual that's very difficult to track down. He's got numerous addresses, prior residencies, just messy, evasive.
The business owner, David Sinclair, seems to be linked to several addresses, so Brian does some research.
46-year-old David Sinclair, an accountant. His idea was to put a city map onto a globe, something he realised had not been done before. The result is the Globy, and it is now selling in thousands across the UK and around the world. Father of four sold 2 properties to allow him to invest £400,000 in the project, but yet can't pay an original debt of £2,000 to the claimant. It's a bloody joke, isn't it?
Brian finds the globes are being sold through another company, Globy International, but with no address, Del turns detective.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you put collages on globes?
Collage, as in what?
Pictures.
We can do, yes.
Where could I come to see your works?
Well, you can see them all online. I mean, we don't actually have a shop ourselves.
So if I wanted to, where would I send the details to if I wanted to send you an order or something? It might be a one-off as a present for my mum's birthday. It's her 80th, so...
Well, you could, I mean, by all means, I mean, if you drop me an email of what you want, and I'll get a costing for you.
Okay, thanks very much.
That's all right. Okay.
Thank you, bye-bye.
He didn't give anything away there, did he?
That was a bit clever, a bit smart.
Mr. Sinclair still seems to be in business, but with no confirmed address, Brian calls the office.
Hello, mate. Yep. OK, we're off to Globy Limited. Just spoken to him on the phone.
After a search, a colleague unearths an address.
Oh,
after all this time.
You just made my day. So the office is handy sometimes.
Very much
Let's
so.
get down there, come on, let's do it.
OK. Chocks away.
The plot thickens.
The agents arrive at what they hope is Mr. Sinclair's home.
Let's get in the yard.
Brian and Del are allowed to enter the property through an open door to deliver the writ.
Hello? Hello? High Court enforcement? Hello, is Mum in? Hello? Mr. Sinclair?
Yeah.
High Court enforcement agent, sir.
Hi.
I'm here on behalf of DCBL.
Yeah.
We've got a High Court writ, which you're obviously aware about.
Yeah, it's here.
Here to collect £2,323.20.
It's all in dispute.
So the amount does need to be paid.
Well, it can't be paid because there's nothing belong. The company has ceased to trade.
Has it?
What are you trading as now, then?
I'm not trading as anything. If you check on the website,
it's still showing. Still showing on their active proposed to strike off.
Correct.
Well,
still trading then, isn't it?
It's not trading.
Mr. Sinclair claims that because Globy Limited has ceased to trade and is about to be dissolved, he's not liable for the debt. The agents want to find out more about the company Del called earlier, Globy International.
Well, Globy International as well.
Globy International was a company that my wife set up at the beginning of 2012 when my wife and I temporarily separated. She got money to set up a business, which she did. My business, Globy Limited, I lost my father, I lost my house. We then decided we're going to try and give it another go because we've got the children. But Globy Limited has gone.
I understand that, sir.
Yeah?
I just want to cut to the chase, OK? When I phoned you, we spoke about whether or not you could provide me with something, right? And the indication was yes. So let us cut the nonsense, get down to the nitty-gritty, right? Because you would have been quite happy to have done business with me had I...
Was it you?
Yes, it was. It was me. So therefore, all this nonsense about it not trading and all this is rubbish. Because you answered it. You look. If I'd put in an order in, I'd have got one from you.
Globy Limited has gone.
Well, that's how you answered it, Globy Limited.
Because Globy is the logo.
I prefer to have a look around your house and see if there is anything here belonging to the company. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can get round through the back.
Let's have a look then, sir, because we're wasting time, really.
Feel free to have a look. I'll leave the door open.
Thank you very much, Tom.
I'm just going to phone my wife.
No problem, that's fine.
Dell believes that David Sinclair is still trading. If he can't or won't pay, the agents can seize business assets to the value of the debt.
He's got globes here. What do they sell for, do you think?
Hey? You just need receipts for the stuff, then that's it.
Well, I don't know what you want to do. There's a few bits and pieces of a Globey there.
The agents find some leftover stock, the result of a business venture gone wrong.
When I had a prototype of our first globe back in 2009, I think, and I went to John Lewis, and I badgered to get into John Lewis for them to see me for ages, and eventually they let me in. And I remember the guy, and he said, we'll probably place a first order for about 10,000 units. And I remember walking back to the Victoria train station. I was walking on air. I thought, fabulous. And then the economy imploded. They ordered 500. I probably got carried along with it a bit too much, which subconsciously, I suppose, was greed, thinking, you know, we're going to make a few million quid overnight here.
But the unused stock is not enough to cover the debt.
Mr. Sinclair, is there a reason why you don't want to pay this woman her money?
She had invoiced me over the course of a couple of years, roughly, I guess, 20 grand, and she'd got paid about 18 of it. And the reason, as I said, that the rest, the other 2 grand or whatever it was, didn't get paid was because the company had ceased, and the reason it had ceased was, A, because, you know, I lost my house. If I'd had funds, I would have paid it. You know, I lost my house. The personal problems I had, the company had ceased to trade.
Mr. Sinclair's wife and children arrive home.
Hello.
Thousands as well.
Nice dog. What's your financial situation at the moment?
I've got a pop.
Right.
I've got one. And I can go and get.
I don't disbelieve you. I've got no reason. I've got no reason to disbelieve.
I don't disbelieve.
The agents now have to make a decision.
Can I just have a quick moment with my colleague? Just cut this. If you could just go in there, that'd be great. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Cheers. What's your thoughts? Yeah. Because of the company issue. Yeah. He's paid £18,000 from a £20,000 debt, so he's not an evader. He's paid. It was 20 grand. He's paid 18. So he's not an evader. The company just ceased to trade.
With Mr. Sinclair's company, Globey Limited, close to being dissolved, and not enough company assets to pay off the debt, Brian and Dell decide not to pursue it.
There's a couple of globes in here. There's a couple in there. It's not going to reach £2,500.
The failure of the business has had a major effect on Mr. Sinclair.
6-7 years ago, I probably had an A1 credit rating, had a lovely house, swimming pool, 5 bedrooms, acre of land, very pleasant, very comfortable. Probably worked about 3.5 days a week. Then this idea took over, and obviously the whole thing's imploded. But then my wife and I were basically working 25 hours a day, 8 days a week to resurrect things.
Unfortunately, the claimant on this one, it's going to be difficult for them to get their money because the company's not trading anymore. You can't get blood out of a stone sometimes, so it's just unfortunate. But, you know, he's a nice chap. He's tried, he's paid the majority of the debt, and he just can't pay the last amount because, you know, the company wasn't trading.
I was an accountant. I know people that they try and close companies down and then set another one up, and with the stock and all this sort of thing. I know that goes on. But it wasn't us. You know, I've lost I have lost everything. The only thing I haven't lost is my family.
Despite their determination, Brian and Dell have come away empty-handed.
More than half of new small businesses in the UK are failing to survive longer than 5 years. Top of the list of worries is cash flow, with 43% saying they're currently experiencing problems.
Chesham, Buckinghamshire.
Right, what we're doing now, Dell, we're going on a revisit, aren't we?
Brian and Dell have a writ to collect a debt of over £4,000 from a business that recycles second-hand airline seats.
Yes, it looks like we're going to SD Aviation Aircraft Interior Recycling Limited.
It's not the first time Brian has tried to collect the debt.
Yeah, Kevin and I pretended this one. This was got lots of aircraft seats and parts of planes.
Okay.
Which are quite valuable.
The money is owed to a supplier that the business failed to pay.
I'll just tell him that the sun's shining, please don't make the thunder and lightning come.
On their first visit, the debtor, Aaron Day, claimed he couldn't pay. This time, Brian and Dell want results. The warehouse is full of potentially valuable aircraft seats. They could seize to offset the debt. The agents find Mr. Day sitting in his office with a colleague.
Afternoon.
You all right?
I'm good, how are you, sir?
Yeah, good, thanks.
High Court Enforcement Agency, you know that, yeah?
Yeah.
I understand there was an issue last week because, I don't know, cash flow or whatever it was.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
It's got to be paid today.
I haven't got it here, mate.
We're going to have to seize assets then. You've got to pay it. We said you were going to pay it Friday and then Monday the latest.
Yeah, I know, but it just didn't come in.
Can anyone help you with it to get it paid today? And then you pay him back? Anyone at all?
No, I can't do that. I've exhausted my channels.
The bank won't help you then?
No, I've got this guaranteed 15 grand coming in. I know that, it's just not hitting the time frame.
Mr. Day says he's waiting for a £15,000 payment from HM Revenue and Customs.
Do you know if the HMRC have actually sent out the cheque?
Yeah, they have.
The HMR system says it's on its way. If you can't pay this today, we're going to look to take control of goods, get some trucks in, remove them.
Mr. Day claims he can't pay, but then he makes the team an offer.
Yeah, you can take 4 of those seats, and that is grand.
I'm not an expert. We'll have a look around and we'll determine what we're taking. When you explain to her that you know you're going to take control of their goods and possibly remove them, you really see what they're made of. And what I mean by that is, you'll see the individuals that will scrimp and scrape, make that telephone call, try everything tooth and nail to prevent that action.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you take today?
Everything.
The contract's with British Airways. That's BA's assets.
Cool.
So you wouldn't be able to touch them.
So why is BA's assets in here? What's the contract? What's the conditions?
The contract is I buy those.
Right.
And they're holding here. As soon as I pay them, they're mine. So it is technically, legally, underneath the contract, BA's stock until I pay for it.
After first offering them some stock, Mr. Day now backtracks, claiming the airline seats aren't his after all. Dell is suspicious.
Right, Brian, the issue is the goods are his. Believe me, right? We take those goods. It's his responsibility.
He still has to pay for them.
He still has to.
It's like a loan, isn't it?
That's his issue. That's not our issue.
With no offer to pay, Brian decides that seizing assets today is the only way to clear the debt.
I don't want to wait any longer. And if you can't pay it today, I'm going to take control of goods inside this warehouse. Apparently, it's quite expensive stuff. About £150,000 worth of stock in there. But I'm not an expert. I don't have a bloody clue what I'm looking at.
Brian calls a colleague, Paul Bohill, for advice.
Hello. Paul, it's Brian. How you doing?
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm in a place at the moment, commercial property, and they deal with plain spare parts. I'm just basically calling up regarding, the value of this kind of stuff.
It's such a restricted market.
Yeah.
I would value the stock at less than 10%.
At less than 10%, yeah?
So in other words, if you're looking to recover 100 grand, you'd need £1 million worth of stock.
Fine. So if I've got 4 grand debt, what we're looking at, 40 grand.
So I'd really go over the top because it's such specialised stuff, hypothetically it could end up being sold for scrap.
So basically you're talking about clearing them out then, really?
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Cheers, Paul.
It seems that while the stock might be valuable to Mr. Day's business, it could be hard to sell. And Brian has no idea how much the seats might fetch at an auction.
It's not looking good on the following basis. Because your goods are quite specialised items, we might not be able to sell it at all. And that comes to the point, for £4,000 debt, we'd look to clear out most of your stuff here today. If I can't get it paid in half an hour, I'm going to start calling the necessary HGV lorries to come here and do so.
The deadline is set. The next 30 minutes could make or break Mr. Day's business.
You don't run a business like this without having some form of contingency fund. You're just going to have to dig into it.
But Mr. Day then presents the agents with a bombshell. He says his colleague has spoken to the claimant directly, who's given him more time to pay.
All right, mate.
I'm embarrassed as it is.
Don't worry.
Right, he's just spoken to the guy. He's going to ring your office, see if you can just give us 5 days. He's happy to wait.
Go on, make a call to the office and let him know that they're trying to get hold of him.
Just need 5 days, man.
Let me call him now.
Thanks.
Brian calls the office to check Mr. Day is telling the truth.
Okay, fine. All right, that's cool. Cheers. Bye. It's weird. He's explained to our office that he hasn't made no such agreement with you, and he's going to call you back now and tell you you've got to deal with us. So I'm just relaying the message. Listen, don't shoot the messenger.
Brian's been told that the claimant hasn't made any offer of a 5-day extension.
Well, someone's telling a porcupine, ain't they? Interesting.
He speaks with forked tongue. Now we can't trust anything he says.
But the threat of losing all his stock has spurred Mr. Day into action. An associate has agreed to pay off some of Mr. Day's debt for him.
I'll pass you over to my cousin. Are you in the country?
Is he paying card, is he? Hello? Is he paying by card? Is he paying by card, is he?
He wants the bank details. Who do I need to...
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it now.
Mr. Day's associate decides to pay the office directly. Brian calls to check the amount.
£4,000's paid. He's paid another £120.61. They'll pay that.
The associate has wiped out most of Mr. Day's debt in just one payment. Now Dell needs to get Mr. Day to pay the balance.
You've got it, haven't you?
£4,000 we have, so we just need £120.61.
Joking. Well, about 60 quid in my account. That's how broke I am. I'm just about to make it.
Yeah.
Anyway, how much shit?
£120.61.
Mr. Day now asks another colleague to pay the remaining £120.
Your payment has been made. There's a confirmation. That's from me, UK Recycling IT Limited.
We should wait for that to hit and then we'll be at
your part paid as well, so it should be within the hour, I'd say.
Thanks to his associates, Mr. Day's business is safe. The end to a debt that he didn't contest.
I should have gone to court, and the reason I couldn't go to court because on that particular morning I had 2 boys at home that were sick and my wife wasn't there. If I'd gone to court I would have won, but because I didn't attend court it was viewed in the favour of the claimant, so that's my fault for not going to court. It's as simple as that.
Okay, well done, Brian. Yeah.
And in just an hour and a half, Brian and Dell have got what they came for. Next time, Steve and Paul meet a tenant who won't budge.
Hello. The first thing they do is, once they see us, good morning, they break down in tears.
Brian and Dell's patience is pushed to the limit.
We're not idiots, you know, and we know what's probably gone on. All I want's the truth of the matter, and now we're getting somewhere.
And Kevin turns detective.
Don't believe a word he's saying to me. He just lied to me since the minute I walked in here.
You get into debt.
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't.
I don't know where I can't go.
Or won't pay it back.
I can't pay it. I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
You're a livid little yellow twat.
Dealing with desperate debtors.
Please open the door.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
In dramatic situations.
I'll break your glasses.
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
We've got nowhere to go.
You can't leave it because if that pipe comes off, it's like threatening.
And their possessions.
Will it be all right to tow it behind a transit?
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay...
Get your hands off me.
They'll take it away. Last year, over 100,000 county court judgments were issued against businesses in England and Wales. With an average value of nearly £3,500, creditors are increasingly turning to the High Court to get their money back. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are High Court enforcement agents. They travel thousands of miles every week, collecting debts and seizing goods. Today they're on their way to a dog kennel business in Crewe, Cheshire, to recover a debt of over £3,000 owed to a supplier.
Where are we off to, Vic?
We are off to Thermal Dog Kennels.
Wonder if the owner's called Jack Russell.
No, he's actually called David. It's David Routledge.
If company director David Routledge can't or won't pay today, the agents can remove goods from his business to cover the value of the debt.
I reckon it's one of these little out units. Thermal dog kennels.
Hello there. We're after Mr. David Routledge. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I need to speak to Mr. Routledge. Is that yourself?
I'm one of the Routledges. Which one do you want?
David.
Which one? There's two of them.
Right, okay.
Director of the company.
Director of Thermal Dog Kennels.
He's not here.
Right, okay. Are you able to get him on the phone?
Yeah.
We're High Court enforcement agents. We're here to take control of goods.
What goods?
The goods that are in the premises at the moment.
Thermal dog kennels haven't got any goods.
Right, okay. Well, you'd need to get him on the phone.
What's thermal dog kennels supposed to owe?
Well, they're total amount at the moment, so you need to get Mr. Routledge on the phone.
No, I can't. It's not
No, okay, that's fine. Can you start doing an inventory of goods?
Yeah.
This Mr. Routledge claims he isn't the David Routledge, director of the debtor company they're looking for.
You need to start cooperating with us, sir.
Now, come on, gentlemen.
No, carry on doing what we're doing, sir.
You are right. You're leaving this premises.
No, we're not.
Please. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm not trespassing at all. I'm not. No, please don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Touch you? I'll do more than touch you. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. There is nothing here of thermal dog kennels. If you look at the record...
Can you stand back, please, sir?
No, I will not stand back. Will you leave our premises?
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
You're not going our premises? Right. Right, come on. Let's see who can saw to first.
Mr. Routledge, the on company's house is still active, sir, and it's ready.
Can you stop leaning on me,
Yes.
please, sir?
No, I won't. Will you leave these premises? Move this man out of the way.
No, it's fine. You can talk to me, sir.
For a start, High Court enforcement is nothing but a company. You're not a High Court. I want to see. I want to see your bailiff certificate for a start.
No problem at all, sir.
Come on, let me see it.
There you go,
And then
sir.
I want to see the writ under the authority. Come on, sir.
Who are you, sir?
What am I?
Who are you?
I'm me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I'm not showing you anything, sir.
Right, and I'm not.
Okay.
And I'm telling you to leave.
And I'm not going anywhere until you cooperate with us.
What? I don't have to cooperate with you.
Exactly, sir.
I've told you.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll continue doing my job.
You will,
until you start cooperating with us, sir.
I'm not cooperating with you because you're.
Okay. Don't touch me again.
I won't more
Do
than
not
touch
touch
you.
me again.
I find
I'll have
you
you arrested.
Have me arrested. Go on.
Okay.
I'm a 72-year-old gentleman with a
acting.
heart complaint. And do you think the police are going to be very interested in me when they see a big burly thug like you threatening me? Yes. It's nothing to what else will be in your face. You carry on.
Sometimes when you work in pairs, one person gets more abuse than the other. We get it every day, every single day. And it doesn't bother us. I don't go home crying at night because someone says they don't like me. I move on to the next job and get over it. Why are you being like this, sir?
Why am I like this?
Why are you being like
Because
this, sir?
it's quite clearly there are notices all over the place. I tell you, this has nothing to do with thermal dog kennels.
You need to work with us then, sir.
Mr. Routledge claims that Thermal Dog Kennels is not based at the address and is nothing to do with him.
We have hundreds of companies that have got registered office here.
Okay.
I find your whole attitude aggressive and
I'm sorry, sir. Haven't you just tried to push me out the building?
Yes.
And in my personal space, sir.
Come on, I want you to have me arrested. I want you to charge me. Come on.
Do you mind
Come on, big man. Come on, big man. Come on. You can't, can you? Because you're a livid little yellow twat.
You can tell signs of when people are going to be aggressive just by the way that the body language is, by the way that they get into your personal space immediately. And you've got to think one step ahead of trying to get this message clearly to them that regardless what behaviour is going to happen, we're going to be doing the job, we're going to be executing the writ.
Just step aside, I'll have a convo with you, alright?
Yes.
Let's start from the beginning.
I'm quite happy to show you a series of events which will show there's lots of companies with registered addresses here.
Right.
Yes. But that man must enter his premises.
That's fine,
Now,
sir. He can deal with me. He can deal with me.
yes, I think
Oh,
you're
you
quite
can.
reasonable.
We can go in the back and in your office.
With the situation escalating, Stuart talks to the police.
Have him out of place.
As we've gone to do an inventory of goods, he's becoming very aggressive, trying to throw us out the building. So we're here to continue our job regardless of the situation.
Vic takes Mr. Routledge aside to try and find out more about the company that owes the money.
Is David, is he your son?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm David Senior.
Right, both, okay, that's fine. Were they trading from here at some point before?
Yes. It ceased trading probably 2 years ago. But it's filed accounts at company's house, but it has no assets at all, just a trading company.
Just as Vic seems to be making progress, Stuart's arrival changes Mr. Routledge's attitude.
Why is he still on the premises?
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
Another man arrives in the office.
Jonathan, this man's totally intimidated me, and he's threatened me.
Have I threatened you, sir?
Yes, you
I think you need to calm down, sir.
That he is a disabled person with a serious heart condition, and that your threats here can actually invoke into a heart attack.
What threats are that, sir?
But simply thereby your intimidation.
Yes, you are intimidated.
I'm here to do my job, sir.
Yes, you're not.
If you want to cooperate,
you're intimidating.
If you want to cooperate, sir.
Look, I told you that you are intimidating. I don't have to cooperate with you.
That attitude, sir, is getting you to here. Right, ignore what I'm saying then, sir. Ignore what I'm saying, sir.
Would you please get this man out?
I'm not going anywhere, sir, so you can deal with it.
You're not going to get anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
Right, we'll see about that. Out. No, get out.
Calm down, sir.
Calm down. Get him out. Get him out.
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
Get him out. Come on. You shouldn't have this one.
Get off. Get off.
Oh, violence now. Oh, the clenched fist then. Clenched fist. No, I'm having you now. Oh, yes. You're a clenched fist. You're going to be here.
With the threats escalating, will Stuart and Vic be able to get the £3,000 they came for? High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in Cheshire with a writ to recover £3,000 from a company called Thermal Dog Kennels.
We're after Mr. David Routledge.
The man they met, Mr. Routledge, had the same surname as the company director of Thermal Dog Kennels, but denied that he was him.
Are you able to get him on the phone?
No.
Mr. Routledge didn't want to cooperate.
Now, come on, gentlemen.
No, carry on doing what we're doing, sir.
He then tried to get Stuart out of the premises.
Come on, big man. Come on. You can't, can you? Because you're a living little yellow twat.
Then another man arrived. Tensions rose and Mr. Routledge made threats against Stuart.
Calm down, sir.
Get off the camera.
Oh, violence now. Oh, the clenched fist then. Oh, I'm having you now.
Now the agents need to calm the situation down so they can resolve this complicated case. Stuart takes the man who recently arrived to one side.
We're here to speak to David Routledge.
The David Routledge that you're after is up in North.
We need to speak to him and we need to see some documentation for what actually belongs to this company. Sorry, sir.
My name's John Routledge, I'm the owner of all this stuff here.
John Routledge tells the agents he's the director of an entirely different dog kennel business, trading from the same address. If this is the case, the agents won't be able to seize any assets, but they need proof.
This is a lease agreement for the goods that are owned on lease here to Animal Housing Solutions.
The lease proves that a new business, Animal Housing Solutions, is indeed trading from the address, as John Routledge says, and the equipment on the premises is hired out from a different company. The assets on site don't belong to Thermal Dog Kennels, and so they can't be seized.
I'm just looking at this.
But as the company named on the writ is still listed as trading from the address, the agents have the right to stay on the premises to conclude their inquiries.
I now require you now to leave this premises, please.
We won't be leaving, sir.
Get out through that door now.
The problem is they're still active on company's houses trading from here. That's the problem we're sitting with today.
The company's house is only just simply there as an entity, exactly.
The active address is here on company's house. It shows that it's here.
Yes.
We didn't make up that information.
Despite John Routledge's protests, the agents won't leave until they've tried to find out where the director of Thermal Dog Kennels, David Routledge, is.
So is the defendant we're looking for, which is not trading from here, that's your dad?
No, he's my dad.
Is this your dad?
Oh, yes.
Is it your brother then?
Yes.
Right.
Who's up north?
Where about?
He's up in Leeds.
Have you got a contact number for him?
Yes, but we're not going to give it to you.
With no company assets there to seize, and no help from the family in contacting David Routledge Jr., Stuart and Vic have no choice but to leave empty-handed.
All right, see you later. The issue we got is it's Thermal Dog Kennels, and when we walk in there, there's kennel equipment. There's cages, there's photos of dogs,
it's just the way they came across, you know, they weren't forthcoming with any information. They know the person, it's obviously family. We'll just take it through our trace department.
And see where we end up.
Over the last 3 years, homelessness among ethnic minority communities has risen much faster than in the general population. This dramatic increase has caused a huge rise in the number of households from minority communities living in temporary accommodation. Barnet, North London. High Court enforcement agent Steve Pinner and his son Ben are on their way to carry out an eviction.
We have a writ of possession. We are going to a flat in Brunswick Park Road.
A notice of eviction has already been sent to the tenant by the county court, but the landlord has upgraded it to the High Court to speed up the process.
Let's see what we can do.
The tenant has been living in the flat for over 4 years. She's in rent arrears, but Ben and Steve aren't instructed to collect payment. They are here to repossess the property today.
It's that one with the extension lead going out the house.
That's to use the communal electric. That's running through a letterbox. That's dangerous.
Sometimes we see something like an extension lead coming out of the letterbox. You know before you get into the flat there's something not right, whether it's with the person or even the property. There is something not correct.
Hello? Hello, madam. My name's Ben. I'm a High Court enforcement officer. I've been sent to repossess the property, madam. Would you like me to unplug the plug before you open the door? Hello? I'm going to unplug the plug, yes? Okay, if you want to open the door now.
Why are you coming here?
I'm here by the High Court to repossess the property, to evict you, madam. I have the relevant paperwork if you'd like to open the door.
I didn't receive any court order.
Okay, madam, this conversation will be much easier if you open the door. Would you like to open the door?
I didn't receive any...
Okay, madam, I'm not having any further conversation until you open the door.
Any zoning court order?
Yes, if you can read it through that spy hole. No, madam, open the door. This is just getting ridiculous. Or I can have the door opened for you if you don't want to open it for me. I'd much prefer you to open it, though. That's better. This is the paper. This is from the High Court. And what happens is, you have an hour now to collect some personal effects, medication, items to last you a few days.
I didn't receive before.
Madam, okay, let me explain. You was ordered by the county court to leave, and you didn't leave. The client...
No, I don't have a...
Madam, hold on. You did have a court order. It was an order of possession, saying that you should leave by a said date. Obviously, because you didn't leave, the client has asked to transfer it to the High Court. Rather than transferring it to the county court bailiff to come, we are coming instead. We'll have to leave the door open, though. I need to come in. I don't want to... What's behind the door? Wow. Do you live here on your own? Have you got anyone that can come and help you?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything? Have you started to pack already, or...?
Yeah, something I back.
Ben leaves the tenant to pack, but as he looks around the flat, he's in for a shock.
Wow, this is something else. It's just like a version of hoarding. There's this rubbish everywhere. I don't know how people can live like this, but everyone goes through life differently. When you go down the council, madam, speak to them about arranging people to come and collect all of this.
Steve decides to investigate the power cable that came through the letterbox.
Everything is run off the communal electricity. The fridge, hot plate, microwave. There's probably no lights.
There's 3 microwaves, one there. 2.
Yeah, I know. Try a light switch. The electric won't work. Told you. The boiler's not on, obviously.
Is there no electricity in this flat, madam? How comes?
Not only light, electricity. Everything is broken.
Yeah, but this is the electricity from outside, isn't it? When you enter a property, you're looking for things that might be out of the ordinary. Sometimes they're boxes all stacked up, food stacked up, no utilities in no lights working, and things like that, which brings you to the point where the tenant may be vulnerable or not sure of themselves, so you have to be very careful.
Hello there.
Nice to meet you, sir.
As the tenant continues to pack, the landlord's agent arrives.
We're in talking to her, explained the situation to her, told her that she has an hour to get her personal effects together, and she's going to have to come back and...
Trying to reason with her. The owners are in the States at the moment, and I manage the property when we've been able to, but she's not allowed us in for...
The electricity doesn't work.
She's not allowed us in for a safety certificate.
She has an extension lead running off outside for everything.
We've been pleading with her through the letterbox. I mean, never forced entry, ever. We've said, look, let us help you. For your safety, we need to get... You're not coming. And she's screaming at the owners, and it's their property. They're trying to help her.
Ben is concerned about the tenant's welfare.
Have you got anywhere to take all of this stuff to, madam? You don't have a place. I just don't know what you're going to do with all of this. I really don't. Because you've got quite a lot of stuff. You need everything. You're going to need to make arrangements to come back and get all of this. But it's not going to be a quick process. Have you got not family or friends that can come and help you? No. When you evict vulnerable people, it's hard because we don't know if they're going to get the help they need, whether that's down to the fact that they won't ask for it or the fact that they simply aren't getting the help from the necessary authorities. Madam, I understand this is very distressing for you, but we need to sort of work out a game plan of what you're going to do in your next steps. Would you like me to help you? Would you like me to lift that over?
Can I help in any way? Oh, that's really heavy.
Is there anything else you need to take, madam? No?
Have you got the piece of paper he gave you? You need that if you're going to the council.
The tenant is now homeless. She must appeal to the local council for emergency accommodation.
What about all your other stuff in the property? If you explain to the council... I said to her, you need to go to the council, you need to do this, she says, don't care, doesn't matter.
She will not have gone to the council. I can almost guarantee she... I don't know where she's gone. Go then? Well, she will just go to... if she knows somebody or somewhere, or she... I don't know. That's what's so sad about it.
The tenant must collect the contents of the flat within a month, or she could lose all her possessions for good.
As you can see, we're going to be at least another month before we can legitimately remove all of her stuff. That puts another month on top of before we can start any refurbishment work. So, it goes on.
The eviction is complete.
I need you to sign this just to say that we've been here, done what we're supposed to do.
But Steve and Ben are still concerned about the tenant. They take an unusual step and decide to try and track her down.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down there and have a look down there, see if we can get round that way. See if she's sitting, but I don't think she will be. It's always difficult if you have to evict someone that's a vulnerable person, because if they're that vulnerable, they may not understand the situation. So somebody has to try and get them to understand it.
She just disappeared. She might have got a bus. But what can we do? You know, you can only do so much. You know, we're struggling to find her.
After driving around the area, there's no sign of the tenant.
I don't know what's going to happen to her. Now she's disappeared, and will she go to the council? She didn't seem that bothered when we said about going to the council. Will she be sleeping on the streets tonight? I feel like I need closure. I need to know where she's gone, or if she's okay. But I don't know what more I can do to try and find her.
I mean, we've done the job that we've been paid for, but then there's us personally as people think, you know, yes, the job's the job, but at the end of the day, we hope they're going in the right direction to get help and move onwards.
Steve and Ben have faced an emotional eviction. But in Stuart and Vic's next case, they meet a debtor in denial.
I swear on my son's life, I have not received no paperwork.
You don't need to swear on anyone's life, sir.
Who pushes their patience to the limit.
Don't kick my furniture. Don't kick my furniture.
I'm not kicking any furniture.
Don't kick the furniture.
Do not touch me again, sir.
The number of county court judgments issued against consumers in England and Wales has reached the highest level since the financial crisis in 2008. By the end of the decade, personal debt is set to reach £2.5 trillion, with each adult in the UK owing an average of nearly £50,000. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in the Worcestershire countryside.
The Malvern Hills, Vic, the Malvern Hills.
They're on their way to collect a debt from a man who purchased a car engine from an online auction website, but failed to pay the seller.
We are going to see Mr. Clive Herbert, 3,200.
And who's it owed to? A private individual?
Yeah.
2, 3. Aha, here we are.
Where the defender is.
If Mr. Herbert can't or won't pay today, the agents have the right to seize personal assets to offset the debt. Nobody seems to be at home. So Vic decides to do some detective work.
Morning.
Hello.
Mr. Herbert, have you got a contact number for him? Thank you very much. I'll give him a ring.
Vic gets the debtor, Mr. Herbert, on the phone.
Hi, is that Mr. Clive Herbert? Hi, morning, sir. My name is Mr. Victor. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. Would you be able to return to the property? No. I've got a High Court writ here, so with outstanding balance of £3,219.27.
What's this for? I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't even received any court papers for it.
Well, you've got my number. I'm going to give you 20 minutes to raise the funds. If not, we will be funding transport to remove the vehicles on the drive.
They don't belong to me. They belong to my son. You can't take stuff that doesn't belong to you.
The outstanding balance that needs to be paid in full is £3,219.27.
No, it's not even £2,000.
It's been oh, so you know about it then?
Yes, I know about it.
Oh, well, no, but you just told me 5 minutes ago you know nothing about it. So I'm not.
I haven't received the paperwork from the court. I'm appealing against the case.
So I've got an active High Court writ here.
No. You are doing things wrong.
Oh, no, sir. Far from it.
Then you can come and take my stuff.
You've got my number. I'll give you 20 minutes and I'll give you a call back.
No, you can't.
I can't understand why people think they can tell me what I can and can't do. I don't go around to people's work and tell them what they can and can't do.
While they wait for Clive to return home, Stuart runs a vehicle check on the cars in the driveway.
Can someone put me through to HPI, please?
They are valuable assets. And if they're owned by Mr. Herbert and free of finance, the agents can take them away if he doesn't pay today.
Land Rover Defender 110 it should be. Alright, cheers Ed, thanks very much mate. Bye. Free of finance.
Yeah, this one is on eBay for $12,750.
Both cars are free of finance.
You, my friend, are being seized. It's always a major benefit of coming to a property and realising that there is a valuable asset sat on the drive that's free of finance. That means you've got something to barter against.
Stuart calls Mr. Herbert back to give him an update.
Hello, is that Mr. Herbert?
Speaking.
Mr. Herbert, my name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
I've just been speaking to the police. I'm on their way now.
Okay.
You haven't got the correct paperwork, Ben.
How have we not got the correct paperwork? So we've got a High Court writ.
They said you can't take anything away.
Says who?
The police.
You do know that the police are only here for breach of the peace, so they're not here to stop us doing our job.
They're on their way now.
No problem at all, so we'll speak to you shortly. Are you making your way back?
I'm on my way there to you now.
Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you shortly.
Stuart and Vic wait for Clive and the police to arrive. But then, Clive's son turns up.
Hello there, sir. Take it you're the son, are you? Yeah, we're High Court enforcement agents. Your dad said he's on his way back. Payment needs to be made. If not, goods are getting removed, including the Defender. That's mine. Is it? Have you got any documentation for it? I have got documentation for that. Are you able to go and grab it? Yeah, okay. Cheers, mate.
If Clive's son can prove the cars on the driveway belong to him, the agents won't be able to seize them.
Have you got a receipt for it?
No, we haven't got receipts for anything. We don't do receipts.
The son has logbooks, but these are not proof of ownership. With no receipts, the vehicles can be seized.
It will be removed then.
You ain't taking them.
No, we don't have to, but we need payment.
The agents have been on the property for 45 minutes, and there's still no sign of Mr. Herbert. Then, the police arrive.
Morning, officers. Got a High Court writ to take control of goods unless payment's been made.
I think he's under the impression it's still in court.
No, the CCJ's been awarded against him, so it's now a writ of control, which means if the full balance is not paid, we will be removing goods.
Stuart turns detective and finds keys to other cars. He walks down the road to see if there are signs of any other vehicles.
I'm just waiting now to see what he turns up in. There's keys inside for a 2011 Chevy Camaro. There's also a 55 plate Range Rover Vogue.
But then Mr. Herbert turns up on foot.
Mr. Herbert, Mr. McCracken, High Court enforcement agent. My colleagues are with the police at the moment, just regarding this outstanding writ, sir.
I just rung the court. They said that I got every right to appeal. Then
you got every right to appeal, sir. Yeah. Well, at the moment, it's still active.
Well,
so we're here now to collect a payment or take control of goods, sir.
Well, the stuff don't belong to me.
What about the goods inside your property, sir?
Eh?
What about the goods inside your property?
My son.
Belongs to everything.
Yeah, everything belongs to my son.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm here to take control of goods, sir, which we'll be doing unless payment's made.
If all this stuff belongs to my son, you can't take nothing.
Yes, I will take it, and you've got 7 days to prove to the court.
You can't take anything if it belongs to...
Sir, I need to make you aware, if your appeal goes through, you get your money refunded. But the fact of the matter is, we're here now to execute a writ of control.
Hey, can they take stuff? Is this your address? Yeah, this is my address.
Yeah.
But the stuff, everything belongs to him.
In this job, you've got to think, are they being truthful? Are they being honest? Are they actually at this address? What goods do they actually own? And that's the exciting part of the job.
Mr. Herbert finally starts to discuss the debt with the agents.
I bought an engine for £2,000 off eBay. We put it in the van. The engine was scrap, right? So I paid on credit card and I stopped the payment. And he went to court to get his £2,000, right? And they went against me in court.
As you've just come now, and I understand it's a bit of a shock, so what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you a further 20 minutes to raise some funds. If not, I'll be ringing recovery for the removal of that Defender 110 and the computer equipment that you've got.
Can they do this? If they court, you've got to send me some sort of...
We have done, sir.
I haven't received any paperwork.
Right, paperwork has been sent.
Can you prove it then? I swear on my son's life, I have not received no paperwork.
You don't need to swear on anyone's life.
That's your notice of enforcement, sir, and that's when it was sent. We're here to execute a High Court rate of control, which we will be doing unless payment's made.
With the deadline set, Stuart starts to make an inventory of goods.
Don't kick my furniture. Don't kick my furniture.
I'm not kicking any furniture.
Don't kick the furniture.
Do not touch me again, sir.
Don't kick the furniture.
I advise you do not touch me again.
Off my chair.
I'm in the middle of taking control of goods, sir.
No, stand up then. Stand up. I have asked you politely to get off the chair.
I will do, yes, but if you touch me again, sir.
Let's not escalate things, eh? There's no need for it.
When you're faced with an aggressive confrontation, the thing that you've got to think about is, what am I going to do to get this resolved? So being calm and controlling with the situation leaves you still in control, and that's when they're going to start thinking, right, he's not leaving. I best start thinking about getting a payment together.
Mr. Herbert still maintains that all the goods in the house belong to his son.
He's taken the computer. It's belong to him.
Well, we need to see some evidence then, sir. I've already explained this to you.
It's Scott's computer.
Yeah, well, we need to see some evidence of that, sir.
But as the agents start to remove assets, Mr. Herbert's attitude suddenly changes.
And how much is it then? How much you want?
Total amount outstanding, sir, is £3,957.
I don't even know £2,000.
Yeah, but sadly, sir, it's gone to the High Court.
Been transferred to the High Court.
You are liable for High Court charges.
£1,000?
More
It's
than
a little bit more than that, sir.
Hey?
3,900, almost 4,000.
£4,000?
£3,950.
County court costs and High Court fees have almost doubled the debt.
I can't make that much payment.
No, we need the full amount, sir.
So if I give you a cheque there, you'll go?
No.
It'll have to be cleared funds, sir.
Debit
card, fax transfer.
The agents have been at the house for almost 2 hours. Mr. Herbert has finally agreed to raise the cash.
See if this card works.
Can you take a payment for me, mate, please?
Right, so that's gone through. I've written down your authorisation code. We'll show on your bank statement. Right, we'll be on our way. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day.
Mr. Herbert is unhappy about paying the debt and the additional costs.
I am the victim here. Somebody sold me an engine for £2,000. He's got his £2,000 for a scrap engine. I've gone to court, lost it. I'm absolutely gutted. And now I've paid £4,000. But if that isn't daylight robbery, is that justice for you?
Stuart and Vic got the result they came for.
The defendant paid on credit card, thought he got clever, phoned the bank and cancelled it. But 10 out of 10 for the claimant. He went down the right route, went through the legal system, and we went there today and we got what we were asked to do.
So he can kick and scream all he wants about this, but at the end of the day, justice has been served.
Non-payment of rent remains the biggest problem facing landlords across the country, with the number of tenants in severe rent arrears continuing to rise. 37% of landlords have experienced rent arrears in the last year, forcing many to apply to have their tenants evicted. Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner are on their way to carry out an eviction. The landlord's agent claims the tenant, David Unali, hasn't paid rent for 7 months.
Let's go.
He's at the property to meet Paul and Steve.
Hello, sir. I'm Paul. We've now got the paperwork from the court, so we'll go into action.
Okay.
Just give us a few minutes, so if he is in, that few minutes of you not being there is quite helpful.
No problems at all.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay.
Paul and Steve aren't here to collect the arrears. They're here to evict Mr. Unali today. But this eviction isn't going to be straightforward. The agents have been given a key by the landlord to access the property.
Mr. Unali?
But there's a problem.
Might be a key in it. There's definitely a key in there. Mr. Unali!
The door has been locked from the inside.
Mr. Unali! I just have to gain access another way, i.e. force it.
It seems Mr. Anali has locked himself in the flat.
Mr. Anali, we're High Court enforcement. Will you open the door, please? Well, we need to get the locksmith up here.
Have a quick word with
the agent.
He decides if we just bring a couple of bars up.
Yeah, okay.
While Steve goes to talk to the landlord's agent about forcing entry, Paul gives the tenant an ultimatum.
You open the door, please, or we're going to break in. We're not going to go away, so will you please open the door? Tenants always want to buy more time because this is Judgment Day. They bury their head in the sand. This is never going to happen. And from the knock on the door, they know that this is going to happen.
We've been asked if we could just hold on, breaking the door down. So, the gentleman's going to try and talk to him.
The landlord's agent tries to get Mr. Anali to open the door.
David? Hello, David?
There's still no answer. So the landlord's agent gives Steve the go-ahead to break in.
Just need to take it off. We'll get him to come repair it.
He owes you £6,000, doesn't he?
He owes us in total £7,800.
How many months?
He hasn't paid anything since last June.
Why have you been so patient?
Well, he said that he's had some issues with illness and this, that and the other. Then he said that he's got money coming from his parents. Then we said, okay, fine, you know, we'll wait on for that. And then he just refuses to pay.
Paul and Steve have no option but to force entry.
You open the door now? No?
But even if they get into the flat, will they be able to get the tenant out? Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner were in Tooting, South London, carrying out an eviction.
Mr. Anali!
The tenant, David Anali, locked himself into his flat.
There's definitely a key in there.
The agents tried to persuade him to open the door.
We're not going to go away, so will you please open the door?
With no response, Steve started to break in.
You open the door now? No? Hello, good morning. We're High Court enforcement and we come to repossess your property today. It would have been nice if you'd have opened the door for us. Okay, so you understand why we're here.
Can I have a couple of these?
No. Can I explain it? I'm telling you what's now going to happen. You've got half an hour to get personal effects in a bag, only half an hour, and you'll be evicted. After that, you'll have to make an arrangement with the landlord, who I think has been eminently fair with you, and we can see what he's up against because we've had to break into it today. It is now 20 to 1, 10 past 1, you're out. So just do it. Get on and do it.
Make an arrangement with the landlord to come back at another day in the next few days to clear the rest of your stuff out.
Start packing.
Paul and Steve want to get Mr. Anali out of the flat as quickly as possible.
Make sure you have passports, identification, any medication that you're going to need for a couple of days, and then you can make the arrangement to come back and collect the rest of your stuff.
The flat is crammed with Mr. Anali's belongings. He has a right to return for a few hours later in the week to collect them, but he says he needs more time.
I just need 2 days, you know?
I can't do it. You're not allowed back in the building. If I find out from any of the tenants that you come back into the building or into the courtyard.
I just ask if you send on.
Will you listen to me, please? You need to get some friends here to help you pack your things up, because this man is only going to allow 4 hours for you to move your stuff.
Mr. Unali wants a couple of days to clear his stuff, but having not received any rent for 7 months, the landlord has run out of patience.
I haven't received one single penny of rent from this place since June. That's unfair. You have to understand that.
I understand that. I do.
I'm trying to help you as much as possible. I try to be as nice as possible, okay? So you've got until Saturday, until 12 o'clock, and that's it. 12 to 4, that's it. You don't have anything after that. I'm sorry.
That's not right.
I always remember the fact that there are two sides to the coin, and I don't really understand the mindset of tenants who think that it's okay not to pay the rent and for them not to consider the landlord's dire straits.
Mr. Unali finally starts to pack.
It affected us quite a lot. I mean, it's nearly £8,000 that he owes us. And now with court fees and everything else, you're looking at around about, £9,000-10,000 that in total that it's cost us just to get him out. But, it's irrelevant to him. He doesn't care. It's our own fault that we, trusted him. But, you live and learn.
Mr. Unali's time in the flat is up, but he's still worried about how he's going to move all his belongings.
I'm not sure I can do it Saturday,
You have to speak to the landlord.
He said on Saturday nothing.
Just make it work then.
Huh?
Just make it work.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'm having problem everywhere. It seems everything is going to fucking rubbish. Everything is going to hell.
Mr. Unali is now homeless.
If you look at the cost of the eviction, the landlord's probably nearer £9,000 down the pan. And this guy has mistaken kindness for weakness and has taken advantage. These proceedings have gone on since last July. So I haven't got much sympathy with him because it's never going to be the right day and it's always going to be somebody else's fault. You can't change the mindset of people like that.
Next time, Brian meets a distressed debtor.
Oh, you can't take it. Please let me get home.
Who puts him in a dilemma.
The problem I've got now is I need large payments a day.
Paul makes a surprise discovery.
There's a whole load of tellies here, this big and this big.
And gets shut out of a volatile eviction.